Good morning. Well, it's pretty hard to have the camera angled off so that you can see out the window and see me at the same time. And I think you'd probably sooner look out the window, so I'll just sort of back up here and get myself a little bit more comfortable so I can talk normally. Anyway, I don't know how things are going to go here this morning. When I got up, I found that I could hardly walk. My left knee was really bothering me. And anyway, I did sort of get going and hobbled around with my walker, and yeah, I think I looked like some sort of an old man when I went out to put out the carrots. Yeah, maybe I'll show you that. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know what I'm going to be able to show at the model table. So let's just kind of roll back to what happened here a couple hours ago when I noticed that there was no carrots where we had put them yesterday. Now, I had x-rays done of my knees going on 20 years ago, and when the results came back to my doctor, and the doctor and I had a little consultation, you might call it, he said something to the effect of, now he didn't use these exact words, but it was sort of like, they're not that bad, what are you complaining about? And it was kind of funny. Sometimes it would be the right knee, sometimes it would be the left knee. Well, this morning it's the left knee. Good morning. Now, the reason I've got our carrots in a coffee container instead of in a bowl is because it's a lot easier to carry a coffee container when you're hobbling on a walker than it is to carry a bowl and not spill the carrots all over the place. Now, mind you, the rabbits wouldn't care. On the other hand, maybe they're getting used to having them all nicely clumped together, if you know what I mean. Now, as I'm stepping on my left foot here and putting weight on my knee, I have to be very careful not to twist my knee. That's when I can all of a sudden, get a really sharp pain. If I'm really careful, it's not too bad. Now, speaking of weight, my weight has gone up in the last 3-4 months, and I'm actually quite concerned about it. I'm sort of envisioning myself going back up to where I was. Now, I'm a long way from where I was, but I am going up. And tomorrow is pizza day. And I think part of the problem is I've had too many sort of pizza days. I gotta get back on the wagon again. I keep falling off of it. And the interlude between the time I fall off and the time I get back on is getting longer and longer. Well, like I say, I'm actually quite worried about it. Now, undoubtedly, at the beginning of today's episode, you noticed that I did get the 3 life rafts on the back. And we're going to have another rollback, and that'll show how we got to this place. And then maybe we can work on one of these ladders here. We are basically continuing on where we left off at the end of episode 1141. So, and we were trying to determine where exactly do we glue this. Well, not like that. on the back here. And I have since looked at the pictures. Now the the manual has us putting them on this way. The drawing that Carlo did has them going this way, and instead of 3 of them, he's got 5 of them, 3 big ones and 2 small ones. But they're all vertical instead of horizontal. But I'm going to go ahead and do them the way they are in the manual here, because I don't think we would have enough then. At least I don't think we would. Although, you know, there are life rafts left over, I think, from, was it the Hood or the Bismarck? There was extra life rafts. I remember they're over on the other side of the model table there in a tin, I believe. Anyway, we're going to do it this way. And it appears that the bottom of the life raft is along with the bottom of the turret right here, like this. Okay, so this is the way it's got to go. At least that's the plan. And also in the drawing, you will notice that the barrels from the gun that is behind this one, they sort of tuck underneath. So the viewer that mentioned that he'd seen that in the line drawing, it's also in the artist's description of illustration. You know, the barrels are tucked underneath. Now that is not going to work because we got these at an angle, and it just won't fit. But that's okay. We're going to have this have them facing off one way or the other. I think we'll have them facing off to the left, to the port, and because I think that is the way they were when they were shooting at the Bismarck. Now, I could be wrong. I tried to investigate a little bit into that to see which way they were, and I couldn't really find anything. And it could be that the Rodney was, you know, doing figure eights for all I know, you know, trying to escape the Bismarck shelling at them. Now I don't know all the details. I'm speculating, and I shouldn't be speculating. Anyway, we might have time here this evening to put the macro lens on, and at least get one of these on. But I do have to go out this evening, so that's going to really cut into the evening, and I probably won't be back to. Well, we'll see what happens. Once again, I'm flopping my gums way too much here. Okay, continuing right along here, flapping my gums. I have this surface that I'm laying the ladder on, more or less horizontal, or level. I should use the word level, I guess. And we have to try and get this ladder so that it meets up with this other sort of, I think it was more or less a walkway, because if I look at the drawings that Carlo did, he's actually got railings and so on. It could well be that in the add-on detail kits that you get, it could be that there is actually railings going along this walkway here. You know, I had said yesterday that it was a ladder, but it's not a ladder. However, I'm beating this to death, aren't I? Now we have to bend this. You can probably see where the folding lines are there, and we have to try and bend our ladder so that it stands out a little bit from the surface of the turret here. It looks a little bit more realistic. I know on a lot of the ones that I did on the Bismarck and maybe even the Hood, we didn't do that. We just glued it right directly to the. But I'm going to see if I can bend these. I'm going to use Andy's bender again. Where is that thing? Okay, and I'm going to, instead of putting the entire ladder underneath, I'm going to try and get it so that it's only the ends that we want to bend up are under. And that way I think I'll have a little better luck here. At least that's the plan. Let's get the macro lens on. Okay, I've got everything adjusted just right here, so let's try and not bump it anything out of focus. Now, you can see the folding lines here at the ends. Now we're just going to try and get it underneath here. Now, I think if we lower the breaker bar down, it's going to catch. All right. And then if we lift this up, which is already sort of lifting, it should bend at the lines there. Now, I don't know if we need it to go a full 90 degrees. I think we're just going to stop like that. Okay. Now, I don't want to go down too hard because it'll literally squash those things out of shape. And we'll do about the same. Okay. Now, I think that's going to be all right, as long as they don't slip over the oh sure, play with it until you knock it the wrong way. Okay, let's get our turret back and see how it's going to fit. It could be we're going to have to bend them just a little bit more, but I don't think so. Okay, this is the first time I'm trying this. Is it going to fit or is it going to fall over the edges? It is very, very close. Very, very close. Can I move it without knocking it off? Okay, now you can't probably see it the way I can, but these ones here on the end, they're almost falling over the edge. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just take this off carefully, and I'm going to have to just by hand bend these ones here. They're just not quite enough. Yeah, I'll be back. Okay, we are adjusted. That's somewhat better. Yeah, that's somewhat better. Now, I think what I'm going to have to do is very precariously employ the holder downer here. Now, undoubtedly, when I'm putting the holder downer here, I'm going to have to readjust everything. But, you know, the idea is if I can bring the holder downer to hold it in place, then when I bring the glue applicator with CA on it, the ladder is not going to stick to the applicator. Yeah, just let me readjust here. Now, we had ourselves a fairly nice sunrise this morning. But you know, last night, I think I just missed seeing a very nice sunset. Now, I could be wrong, but it sort of looked like it might have been nice. And here's what happened. You know, because of this COVID thing, I haven't gone out socially for, well, it must be what, going on 2 years now, I guess, eh? Sounded like a Canadian. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I did go out last night. I went to a family birthday party. First time since the COVID started. And, yeah, I pigged out. Yeah, it was nice though. It was nice to eat a lot of stuff that I haven't been eating. Like there was birthday cake and there was Chinese takeout, and yeah, it was really nice. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble here, and on the way home, I could see just a little bit off to the left that yeah, it looked like there had been a really nice sunset. Now, by the way, these that overpass that you see just on the other side of the intersection there, well, that's the bridge towers that you usually see in my sunrise. Now, if we were to go about 200 yards the other side of that, where the sunrise or where the sunset is there, you'd be in my backyard. But I unfortunately can't go in a straight line. I had to sort of zigzag around, but 10 times longer, and I eventually got home. Anyway, let's get back to the model table. Now, I'm probably going to have to fine adjust this thing after I get the holder downer on it. Whoops. Careful, Ron. Careful. Okay, it's pretty much right there, unless maybe it could go a little bit that way. But I'm going to work on it. But I'm going to call her quits for this afternoon. Yeah, I will be going on it probably a little later this afternoon and this evening. And then that'll be in tomorrow's rollback. Oh, by the way, my knee is feeling a lot better than it was 6 or 7 hours ago. Well, I've been up since before 6 this morning, so what do we got here? 6? Yeah, that's about 7 hours from now. Yeah, so I'm hoping that by this evening I'll be hobbling much more normally. Thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.